I've read Atomic Habits already.
Let me have them both.
Both,
All
yeah.
right, so Atomic Habits is the culmination of basically 10 years of work and effort for me. It's like my objective was to write the best book that's ever been written on habits. Now, I don't know that I achieved that or not. That's for the readers to decide. But I don't think you're ever going to just stumble into that result. You know, like you have to at least strive for it. And so that was the hope, is that everything that you could possibly need to know about building good habits and breaking bad ones should be in Atomic Habits. So then you're like, okay, why would I need a workbook? But what I've learned over the last 7 years of this being out and selling 25 million copies is that people always need more tangible, practical help with implementing their habits. So Atomic Habits is the full guide and the philosophy and the approach on how to do it. Then you finish this book and you sit there and you say, all right, great. I have some habits I want to build. How do I do that? And the exercises in the workbook are intended to help you do that. They help you look at your environment and figure out how do I optimize it. They help you look at your goals and how do I translate it into a system. They help you look at your desired identity and how are my habits reinforcing it. So it's just a series of exercises that help you apply and implement the ideas from Atomic Habits.
The great thing about the way that you write is it's so unbelievably accessible. So unbelievably accessible in the context, which means that you don't need to be a scientist or an expert to understand the concepts. And I think that's why the book Atomic Habits has been so unbelievably successful. But this book, the workbook, follows in the same vein. It allows people at all levels of their knowledge of habits and intellect to get going and to start sort of holding themselves accountable, I'd say. Accountability is a huge part of this. I kind of see elements of that fitness group I described, Fitness Blockchain, just because you're reflecting and you're writing down what happened. And like you said earlier about how just journaling increases the likelihood of a behavior, this book will raise your self-awareness.
Yes, that's actually a great summary of it. I think it makes you more aware of your habits and your environment and what you're trying to do specifically, rather than just understanding the concepts.
James, thank you. Thank you for changing so many people's lives. You must hear this all the time, but what a remarkable impact you must have had on so many people you'll never get to meet, getting them to quit habits that would have otherwise been fatal for them. You know, my dad is a prime example of someone who was smoking for 20 odd years of his life. He starts reading about these habit cycles in your work, but in other people's work as well, and he's quit smoking, and that's probably extended his life to some degree. And that's one such example of, I'd say 25 million, because I know the Atomic Habits has sold 25 million, but you've reached many millions of people through your newsletter as well, 321, which is the newsletter has kind of created a blue